Hey boys, game recommendation time in under 3 minutes. I'm going to talk to you about Loop Hero. It's a roguelite card deck auto battler. It's got a lot of replayability through its card mechanic and RNG gear and map. It's $15 and 140 megabytes. There's a lot of content in the small file size. Let's talk about it. Let's start with your gameplay loop. Every run has the same mechanic. Kill monsters, place cards, replace gear, level up, collect campsite resources, and then kill the boss. Every time you place a new card on the map completion bar increases a little bit. The point of your loop is to fill that bar, fight the boss, and win. Beating the boss allows you to return back to campsite. Alternatively, you can continue your loop to collect more campsite resources. Dying before or after beating the boss loses most of your collected campsite resources. You can actually leave before fighting the boss if you want as well. Leaving anywhere on the map allows you to take a percentage of all collected campsite resources. However, if you leave on the starting campfire tile, you can take everything you've collected with you. Maps. The game takes place on a randomly generated map. Your character walks the set path and fights monsters along the way. All of this happens automatically in two different phases. The adventure phase, where you're walking and fighting, or the planning phase, where the game is paused to use cards. Both phases can be toggled at any time. Speaking of cards, they're used to populate the map with various environments, buildings, or lands to create events. When not playing on the map, you're at your campsite. It's a hub where you spend your resources collected during the run to create new resources and cards. You can build your deck, you can even select what boss you want to fight. There's a little town building sim that goes on here too. The cards. Before you go out on an adventure, you create a deck of cards that will be drawn throughout certain actions in your gameplay loop. Specifically, killing enemies gets you new cards. Cards are divided into different groups, such as environment cards that give you or take away HP, building cards that can create consistent enemy spawns, or special cards like the Oblivion that destroys anything on a map tile. Cards also have special combinations when placed near each other, so there's a little bit of strategy and forethought before you start placing your cards. Battles. Battles are handled automatically. When you win, you get experience points, and sometimes you get new cards, gear, or even campsite resources. Your gear has randomized stats, so you're constantly replacing it through your loop.
Gaining enough XP levels you up. Every level you can select a new trait, which is a passive skill or option to influence your battles or adventure loop. Leveling can also happen during battles, so it's entirely possible to get a new trait to help during a tough fight.
Final thoughts? This is one of my favorite games to play in between doing other things. It has a well thought out story that invests you in its world, the pixel art is beautiful, and the music is 10 out of 10. Speaking of music, the boss battle songs are absolute bangers. Loop Hero gets a strong recommendation from me if you're a fan of roguelites, easy to play games, or games that just have a high skill ceiling. This is one of the best, and I think you'll absolutely enjoy it.